I'm gonna go ahead and record.
Oh, get down.
Sam, if you can mute yourself. Thank you. Okay, it looks like we're at 5:30 here. Good evening and welcome everybody. So glad to have everyone here this evening. My name is Tracy Irby. I'm the director at the Center for Women Entrepreneurs. So we're so happy to see so many of you here and so excited for our grant winners. We do want them to be able to make a quick introduction. If you'll say your name, your business, and then shortly what it does. And I'll go through the list that I have here because I know some could not attend this evening. We do have Donalisa Stinyard here with us. She's going to be taking the questions this evening. So if you want to message those to her privately, and she'll put that in the box. Again, as a reminder that she's taking questions for tonight. And I'm going to go down our list then really quick, and shortly we will get started. Again, I'm so excited for all of you. We had about 135 grant applicants this year. We had a team of 3 that were graders, several outside of the university. Again, you guys did such a wonderful job, and we're so excited to have all our winners here, and it's so great to have such a diverse group. We found over the years that these presentations are needed by everyone, so we have really opened it up so anybody else can attend as well. So first, I'll just tell everybody here just real quick about our center, and then we'll get started. So the Center for Women Entrepreneurs is a part of TWU's Jane Nelson Institute for Women's Leadership. The JNIWL is dedicated to preparing women to take on successful roles in business and public service, to ensure women have the education to establish careers as successful C-suite executives, the skills for building entrepreneurial businesses, and the framework to run for public office. Our center was funded in 2015 by the state legislature just to help promote women in business. And we do that through small business advising, networking and training events, and funding. So I know many of you, I'm so happy to say here tonight, are grant winners. So I'm going to go ahead really quick and go down the list here. And when I call your name, and some of you I know are brand new, so I apologize, and I hope I say your name correctly. So the first one on my list is Kelly Stribling Sutherland. If you would like to unmute and tell us name, business, and a little bit about what it does.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. My name's Kelly Stribling Sutherland, and my partner, Deborah White Doty, and I are both here today. And Deborah's in Santa Fe. And we have a company called Spring-A-Magic Press, and it's a card and fine art print line. So we are just you know, doing the finishing touches on everything and hoping to launch our website pretty soon. And we're really excited about it. We've been working on it for the last, I don't know, since maybe 7 months or so, but we thought about it like over a year ago together. And I'm sure Deborah would like to say hi too.
Hello from Santa Fe.
Hi, Deborah. Welcome.
Hi.
Glad to have you here as well. Thank you, both of you. Okay.
We're very excited.
Good. Next, I have Marquita. I know I saw you.
Hi.
There you are. Welcome. Again, if you'll give your full name, business, and a little bit about what you do.
All right, thank you. My name is Marquita Samuel. I am one of the co-founders of a business called Digital Business Assets. Our website is www.yourdigitalbusinessassets.com. And what we offer are business templates for the modern woman entrepreneur. And so by business templates, we mean like proposal templates, ebooks, social media templates that you can use and customize for your brand and business. So you're not having to recreate things all the time, but then also that you can really feel confident when you're presenting in front of clients or talking to investors, something that's branded and designed beautifully. My co-founder and I are both in the marketing world, and we realized instead of continuing to make things for clients over and over and over again, if we could give them a template that they can customize and edit as needed, they'll be more empowered. So we're so thankful to be here and thankful for the opportunity to learn.
Great, thank you. Kendra.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kendra Outlaw, and I'm the owner of Atmospheric Home Staging. We are a Dallas-based home staging service. So we work with real estate agents, real estate investors, and builders. And we primarily focus on vacant home staging. So what that means is when a house is ready for sale, we will bring in everything from the furnishings to the textiles, the bedding. We have a full service home staging company, and we've been in business about 4 years.
Great. So congratulations. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
Okay. Jamita, and I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes, that is correct. I'm Jamita Machin, the owner, founder, and CEO of the Software Vault, which is a technology consulting firm here in the DFW area. I've been in I started the business in 2011, but worked it full time for 2 years. So starting in 2018, I went full time. We provide startup services for startups. We provide their MVP products, such as mobile apps, websites, and that nature. And then we also target M&As because we use people, processes, and technology to improve their overall operations, which should hopefully help their bottom line. So that's me, and I apologize. I'm in the car. I'm supposed to be working the polls tonight, so that's why I'm just sitting in the car. I'm not driving, just sitting in the car.
Okay. Well, we're so glad you're here. Okay. Again, I'm sorry on the name. Is it Jamila?
It's Jamila.
Jamila, I should know that too.
It's okay. It's close enough. I always say you can call me anything as long as it's nothing derogatory. Sorry, I literally just like ran through the door, so I don't have my camera on because I look crazy right now.
Oh, that's fine.
So my name is Jamila James, and I own and run a company. It's called Books. And what we do is we basically, I started a company called Antega like last year in May, and that company was really created to help small to medium businesses like leverage their data and, you know, create proper data infrastructure and just utilize their data well. Well, as we were working with clients there, we realized that most customers didn't have great data because most small business owners just don't manage their books, right? Like even their financial data. So finance and accounting sort of being my background, I saw an opportunity to take a step back and help some of those companies really start seeing their data as an asset and thinking about managing their books, not so much as a compliance-based thing for the IRS, but as in, you know, something that's really going to help them grow over time. And so that's what we do. We work with businesses that are really growth focused, and we look beyond the everyday metrics that you see on like accounting dashboards. We're really working with these business owners to help them figure out tactically in terms of pricing, in terms of markets, positioning, and everything else, how to grow. So we're basically like, we're business analysts, but we know how to do the accounting that needs to happen underneath.
Great. Well, congratulations. So glad you're here. Okay. Erica, you're going to be next.
Hi everyone, Erica Millette here. I am the founder of Kondake Tech, and we are an education tech company. I'm a non-tech CEO. I started the company because I was really inspired by this phase of my 12 and 14-year-old sons' lives, where you can take them to the classroom, but you can't make them dream. And it was really important to me that they and other kids like them, be it teenagers and preteens, be it minorities, be it girls, be it kids who may have autism or any other cognitive difference. I wanted them to see themselves in the education world. I wanted them to be able to connect the dots between not just their passions, be it tech and gaming or sports or fashion, but being able to see the math and science inside of their passions, and then be able to connect those dots to the opportunities that they could have in their future careers. And so we're building a platform right now called Banaki, and our target audience is 5th through 10th graders with the focus mathematically on pre-algebra and algebra. And we will also be unveiling a science focus here in the future. And we've been working with companies, representatives, I should say, from companies like Disney, Nike, PlayStation, the NBA, and others, because we really believe that we can grab their attention by introducing them to people with cool companies that are seriously getting all of my money every year, and help them to see the opportunities that could be in their futures. They'll take the classroom more seriously. They'll be more excited about these next few years, and then we'll start to build that diverse pipeline that we need to see in the world as we need more innovators.
Great, that's so exciting. Amy Milton, you are next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amy Milton, and I own The Mug. You may have seen me on University. It's a little drive-through coffee stand. Wanted to have my own thing. I've always worked for other people, and I've been thinking about having my own thing forever. So I was able to open in June, and it's been a great gift to the community because people can safely come and still get their coffee because it's a food truck kind of thing. You can walk up or drive through. And what this grant's going to help me do is get a second very tiny trailer that we're going to call the travel mug, because I'm already getting a lot of requests for people, for me to come to their business or their school or their church or some event. So to bring coffee and fun safely to the community. So this is going to help me start that process. So like I said, we've been open since June, and it's simply coffee. It's good coffee. I'd brag about that a little bit, but yeah, that's it.
Well, we love coffee at the center, so we're so happy. And
I'm
again,
right next to you, so yeah.
I know. Your new one should drive by us or something.
I will. I can just definitely. I'll just swing by in the mornings and make a quick stop. You don't have to tell anybody.
I see you nodding, Donalisa. So congratulations to all of you. There are, I think I got all of you that were here. Some had other things they had to attend tonight. So again, welcome and congratulations to all of you, and welcome to all the rest of you that are here tonight. We're so happy to have you. So we're going to get started. Jody Rodriguez, our events manager, is on Facebook Live. So she's going to be taking questions there. So if anybody is over there, they can write. She will get the questions back to us, and Donalisa is here, and she will take the questions that you may have if you private message her. So let's get started. I'm so excited to introduce Kerry Montz. Kerry has been a public librarian for 26 years, but the last 7 as the business outreach specialist for the Denton Public Library. She has probably been, this job has probably been that part has probably been the most rewarding. She has partnered with local organizations such as TWU, Center for Women Entrepreneurs, the Chamber of Commerce, SCORE, Service Corps of Retired Executives, and the Small Business Development Center in order to bring the best resources and networking opportunities to the local business community. She loves connecting good people with good resources. So I'm so happy to introduce Kerry Montz.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here, and I want to say congratulations to all the grant winners. You're accomplished, beautiful women, and it's fantastic, and it's very exciting to be here with you all today. And so I'm going to share my screen so I can get a PowerPoint going for you, because I do have just some really great information to share with you and want to make sure that you have access to this. So let me bring this up here. Let's see, can you see it? This worked better earlier. Are you able to see?
We do see it, but we do see it in, it's not in the full view.
You know, that F5 button is just not working. There we go. Does that look better?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So I do like to say that a world of online resources opens up to you with only a library card. Your library card is free for you at your local library. And I am going to be sharing resources with you that we have here at the Denton Public Library. But I'm also aware that many of you aren't from Denton, and we're going to talk about that as well. I haven't forgotten you, and I'll make sure that, that you know what you can find at your local library. So the first great database that we have for free at the Denton Public Library is called Reference USA. They recently changed their name to Reference Solutions, so you'll notice that I have a little bit of trouble remembering that, but it's now called Reference Solutions. And it is a massive, powerful database. It has over 60 million businesses listed in it, both public and private, and also 310 million consumers, their purchase patterns and their buying habits. And you may be wondering, where does this information come from? It comes from public records, and it comes from if you've ever bought anything with a credit card, if you've ever bought anything online. That information is sold to companies like this. And I like to tell people that personally, I'm appalled by that, but professionally, I think it's amazing and it's extremely useful. And we're going to take a look at a couple of ways that this information can be helpful to you and to your business. It can help you decide, should you start this business? It can help you decide where should it be located if you're going to have a physical location. And it can help you decide, are there actually potential customers who will be interested in your product or service? And so right now I've got something on the screen. These are a list of parameters that you can search by. So within this database, so I've used this example before because I think it's such a good one. I've got a group of ladies that meets here on Fridays, and that they're called the Finish It Fridays Crafters. And they are experts at knitting and crocheting and embroidery and anything that has to do with yarn and thread and small tools. And they have often told me that there is nowhere in town in Denton that's devoted to just people who knit and crochet. Yes, there's Hobby Lobby, yes, there's Michael's and Joann's, but you have to really drill down to get exactly what you're interested in. So they've always told me that they wish there was a little store devoted just to knitting and crochet supplies. So I decided to use this as an example within Reference USA to see what I can find, and should I open a business like this? And within this database, I could do a search within the city of Denton. And as you'll see on the screen, this list of lifestyle interests. So there's fashion, there's books, there's cooking and wine. But under hobbies, crafts, and sewing, you actually see parameters for just knitting and crocheting. So I could do a search for people in the city of Denton who have a proven track record of purchasing knitting and crochet supplies. Yes, that is possible. And I didn't want to show people's names, but these are actual listings of people in the city of Denton who are interested in these particular supplies. And there are over 450 of them. And we have this information. And to the left of the screen, those are actually names of people. And you'll see that the addresses are actually listed there too. We have that information. And there's also a heat map. You can put it into a heat map and you can see where most of those people actually reside. And so you'll see on the northwest section of town, that's where a lot of the people actually are. And so if I were working with a real estate agent to help me find a small storefront That's the part of town I'm going to look in. So right there, I know I've got people interested in those supplies, those products. I know there's a part of town that's going to be good to open up my store. And then from there, in the area where my store is going to be, I can even narrow it down further. So you'll see this is an Excel spreadsheet for the 76209 code of over 200 people interested in knitting and crochet supplies. So when I have my grand opening celebration for my new business, I can send out a personalized invitation to my grand opening, and maybe also include a 10% off coupon for attending the grand opening celebration. And that way I can really build up a nice clientele of people who are interested in my store. So that's just a really good way to use the Reference USA database and utilize that information to help you decide who, what, and where for your business. Now, within that same database, there's other things that we can do as well. This is more just to show you something kind of fun. This is a comparison. You can check the histories of businesses within Reference USA. And this is just a comparison of 2 bookstores in Denton. One is Barnes & Noble, and that's the blue line. And one is our famous recycled books on the square, which is the green line. And you can see that for a number of years, Barnes & Noble was outselling recycled books. But then you also see around 2008, 2009, things start to level off. And then after 2009, recycled books is now outselling Barnes & Noble. And so I like to ask people, so what was it back in 2008 that might have caused that shift in people going from buying brand new books to wanting to buy used books? And of course, that was the recession. That's people were losing their jobs, losing their homes. They still wanted to buy books, but they wanted to buy them used. And so that made a big shift there. And I just wanted to show you as a fun example of some things you can do with this database. But within that same part of the database, another comparison that you can do, I did a search for the 2 Papa Murphy's here in Denton. So that's a franchise. It's a take and bake pizza place. There's one on each side of town. So we've got 2. So if you were interested in maybe opening the 3rd Papa Murphy's franchise here in Denton, this would probably be good information for you to take a look at. So the blue Papa Murphy's is the one that's over here by TWU, so near a major university. The green one is over on the other side of town in more of a neighborhood area with families, kids, that type of thing. So you can see the one near the university is actually outselling the one on the other side of town. And now there could be many reasons, and one of which could be students love pizza, and that's for sure. But there could be other factors at play. And if you were looking into being that 3rd Papa Murphy's franchisee, it might be good to go visit those 2 stores and see what the differences are. Does one have a better parking lot? Is one cleaner? Does one have better trained staff, better customer service? So that's just another way that you can compare businesses and see what information is going to help you the most. So one thing I do want to let everyone know is that we are making a change in the next month. We're transitioning from Reference USA to Gale Demographics Now. It is very similar. It has some more updated information, and the depth of knowledge for the potential customers is a lot greater. So we're very excited about this. So be looking for that in about the next month. But for now, we're still using Reference USA. And if you want to know more about it, I will be happy to share that with you. But so you can see on the screen some of the things that the Demographics Now will be able to do as well. And it's going to be a great database. So we're not losing out on anything. It's very good news. The next thing we have, I hope people have heard about lynda.com. Lynda.com is a tremendous database of over 6,000 webinars, like full professionally done 2-hour webinars on so many business related topics, customer service, how to deal with angry customers, everything to do with the Microsoft Office suite. If you need to freshen up your skills on Excel like I do, they've got beginner, intermediate, and advanced. If you're wanting to learn how to use QuickBooks for your business, again, they've got beginner, intermediate, and advanced QuickBooks for all the different versions and how to use it. Twitter for business, how to use Twitter and Facebook to market your business in an inexpensive way. All sorts of things are here with lynda.com. And another facet that I like to tell people is that as you grow your business and you hire new staff, you might be looking for inexpensive training opportunities for them. And lynda.com would actually be a great way for your staff to get free training and also be able to prove it to you, because after they complete the webinar, they can then download a certificate of completion. And if they belong to LinkedIn, it automatically uploads the certificate of completion to their account because they're affiliated with LinkedIn. In fact, I think LinkedIn bought lynda.com, so they are affiliated. So again, that's something that's free with your library card here in the city of Denton, and we'll also look at some other local libraries that have it as well, so we don't leave anybody out. That's just to give you an idea of the different learning paths on lynda.com. If you know anybody that's interested in IT, becoming a manager, leadership, graphic designer, there's so much on lynda.com, not just business. It's a little bit of everything that has to do with technology and creative endeavors. It's fantastic. So I promised you that we'd look at some other libraries that have the business resources as well. And so if you're not from the Denton area, the Dallas Public Library, they do have Reference Solutions, which is Reference USA, as well as Gale Demographics Now. One thing I do like people to be aware of is that the Dallas Public Library has a wonderful partnership with their city's economic development department, and it's called the Brain. And I've included that website there, the dallasbrain.org. And over there in Dallas, they've got wonderful opportunities for growth and professional development, great programs on small businesses, how to start a small business, patents, copyrights. I encourage you to go to that website and take a look at what they have to offer because it really is spectacular. It's a real great city partnership that they have over there. The Fort Worth Public Library has Reference Solutions, the Reference USA we just talked about. The Louisville Public Library has Reference Solutions and lynda.com. And one thing I do like people to know about Louisville is that they do still have free library cards for anyone in the state of Texas. So if you're kind of between cities and you're worried about where you can get a free library card, the Louisville Public Library is a great place to start, and they have both of those databases. The Plano Public Library has both Reference Solutions and lynda.com as well. And North Richland Hills has Reference Solutions. Flower Mound also has something called the Sustainability Reference Center, which is how you can, they have lots of great resources on how your business can be more environmentally sustainable, which is fantastic. The Decatur Public Library also has Reference Solutions. Little Elm Public Library, Carrollton Public Library, and Frisco has both Reference Solutions and lynda.com. I know we've got somebody here with us from New Mexico, so I probably didn't have your local library listed there. If I didn't read off one of your libraries, don't fear. Contact your local library. Most public libraries have the Reference Solutions, Reference USA, or they have the one that's similar to it, which is called AtoZ Databases and works in a similar fashion. Please contact your local library and get yourself a library card and let them know what you're looking for, and they're going to be happy to help you. They're going to have databases, they're going to have books on their shelves. They might actually have programs or support networks for small business owners. So please, please, please reach out to your local public library. I know Tracy mentioned SCORE a little bit earlier. They are the Service Corps of Retired Executives, and that is another great free resource that's available to all of you. They are free business mentoring. They're under the umbrella of the SBA. That's where they get their funding, so you know they're a credible institution. Since we've been going through this pandemic, they have gotten themselves very aware of the PPP and the CARES Act funding. So if you have questions, they are people who can help with that. And I'm actually one of the appointment facilitators. So if you are interested in meeting with a SCORE mentor, again, it's free. Just send me an email or give me a call and I'll set that up for you. Right now, they are still meeting with people over the phone or through Zoom, just to keep everyone safe. So right now, that's how they're doing it, but they're happy to meet with people and I'm happy to help get that set up for you. So just let me know. And also score.org is a great resource as well. They have lots of tools, including lots of templates. So a lot of financial documents that you need when you're starting a business, writing a business plan, they have lots of templates that you can use. So I do encourage you to take a look at that website. We are very excited. About a year from now, we are going to have a major update and renovation to our makerspace, which is called the Forge. And now this is something that's really just here in the Denton Public Library and at the North Branch in particular. And we just got a $60,000 grant and we're going to be moving over to a bigger room. And we're going to have a laser cutter. We are going to have new 3D printers, a t-shirt press, button makers, sewing machines. You know, the knitters and crocheters I was talking about earlier, they're extremely excited about the yarn rolling machine. They are thrilled for that. We're going to have a Cricut, an extra large laminator. I'm amazed at the number of people who need a laminator. And what you can do with this space is create prototypes and samples. So if there's a specific product that you're wanting to create, we might have the machinery to help you do that. Now we're looking at an opening about a year from now. So we still have a lot of work that needs to be done, but that is something that we're hoping to have, and we're very excited about it. And if you are in another city, you might want to check and see if your library has a makerspace. They might. That's a trend that's really been growing over the past few years. So you might see more makerspaces and computer labs at your local library. So that's something that we're very excited about. So again, I just want to remind you, please go to your local library and ask them what they have. Ask them if they have reference solutions or AtoZ Databases or Demographics Now or lynda.com. Ask them what they've got on their shelves. If you're afraid to ask, the business section is 650 to 658 in the Dewey Decimal. Just go take a look, find that number area and take a look and see what they have. Get yourself a free library card. They are here for you. Everyone is an advocate for you. The wonderful staff at TWU, they're your advocates. Small Business Development Center, SCORE, your local Chamber of Commerce, your local public library. We want you to be successful because if you are, that makes the community successful. It's better for everybody. And that's why we want to be here for you. So please reach out. If it's not me, feel free. I talk to people all over the place. So even if you don't live in Denton, call me anyway. I'm happy to help. But do check in with your local library. And this is my contact information. I really do mean it. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. And if you feel like you didn't get down all this information, that's fine. I'm going to send this PowerPoint to Donna Lisa and she's going to have it available for you. Or you can email me and I'll send it to you either way. And we're here for you. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Kerry. There's so many resources, and I don't think people realize how many things you can do at the library. And I was excited about all those new things you're getting over there as well. Libraries have come a long way.
We have. It's not your grandmother's library anymore. Some of it is, but not all of it.
Exactly. Well, Donna Lisa now is going to she's going to ask you the questions and that anybody may have had for you.
So we didn't have any questions. We just had a lot of really great feedback, Kerry. Thank you, Kerry. Great resources and information. I think myself included, a lot of us were really surprised at kind of the resources that the public library has. So thank you so much for sharing them with us.
Absolutely.
I will ask you something then. Yes. So, and I know this with reference solutions that many of these I can do from home with if I have the library card.
Yes, thank you so much. That is a part of it that I forgot to mention to everybody, is that when you do have your library card, you have access to those databases 24/7. You don't have to come into the library. If you're sitting up at home and it's 2 in the morning and you have a brilliant idea, you can log right into Reference Solutions and check it out and see where it takes you.
So
Yes.
that's great, because we know how it is. Sometimes I know I used to do things late at night, and what a perfect time that could be to get online to the library.
So we do have a few questions.
Sure.
So Jennifer Edwards wanted to know, is there a list of statewide libraries like the Flower Mound Library that will accept applications from anywhere in Texas?
You know, I don't know that there is a specific list. We do keep a small local list here in Denton just because we get questions about it. So I don't know that answer offhand. The only one that I know of for sure is the Louisville Public Library. But if you're not near that one, I'm not sure where else. But if she wants to get in contact with me, I can see what I can figure out for her.
Okay, perfect. Erica wanted to know, are we able to use the makerspace if we don't live in Denton?
Yes, you do not have to have a library card. You can just walk in. It will, some of the bigger equipment will be by appointment, and there's going to be an online appointment booking system, but you do not have to have a library card. And the very few things that we'll charge for will just be for the price of the item itself. We won't, there's no money making on it. It's, you know, if we sell you a keychain for $1 to laser cut, it's because we paid $1 for it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Jennifer had one more question. She said, I know the Rosenberg Library accepts applications from anywhere. What about the Texas Share program?
So TextShare, that is a program throughout the state where if you're wanting to borrow one item specifically from another city library, it is a courtesy card that you get at your own local library. They create the account for you, and then you can go to that other library to borrow that one item. It's not really for databases. It's really just if there's just this one item that's at another city that you really need. It helps you borrow that one item.
Perfect. That's all I have, Tracy.
Okay.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Kerry. That was such great information. Always love having you.
I'm so glad. It was so much fun. And again, reach out to me. If you need me, let me know. I'm here for you. If I don't know the answer, I'll find it. And now I'm going to go check on our voters out in the lobby, and hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Thank you very much for having me here with you.
Bye, Kerry. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay, well, I am going to be next, and I'm going to be talking about business plans, credit, and financing. These are all things that often come up in the beginning of your business if you're new or a startup, and all of you as the grant winners are going to have to turn in a business plan to get the second half of your funding. I'm going to have some resources in here. So if you need a business plan template, either paper or the live one that we talk about, the live plan, let me know and I'm happy to send that to you. So let's get going. Okay, why is a business plan important? Well, it is for many different reasons. One, decision making. It helps you make the right choices for your business. Communication. It's necessary to get loans, investments, supplies, employees. Sometimes if you're going to have a partner, it's great to have a business plan. Analysis. This helps you with thinking and finding critical areas before investing cash or time. And sometimes we have found some people that as they start doing this, they realize that maybe the business they want to start isn't feasible, or maybe they don't have enough money yet, or maybe they can't quit their full-time job and they can start this now. And it's also a guide to action, how to do things, when and with what. And it can help you turn some tasks into smaller, more manageable ones. It's also very important, and somebody had said before, well, I've already done a business plan and didn't think they really needed to look at theirs or make any changes. Well, I can tell you, COVID has changed everybody's business. And if you have not looked or updated your business plan, now is a good time to do it. So when should you do it? Obviously, right now is a good time, but you want to do it before you get started, when you need money, stuff, or people. You want to do it as a regular part of running your business. And it's an ongoing thing. Again, it's not something that you do once and then never look at it again. Maybe your business has changed. Maybe you pivoted your business. Maybe you found 2 or 3 new income streams for your business. So you can go ahead and do it then. So many people know what their business is and they have all that information in their head. This is just a great way to get it on paper or on the internet, and you can really have all your thoughts together then about your business and what you're going to be doing with it. So how do you write a business plan? Well, there's no one way to write a business plan, so you don't have to make it look like anybody else's. You need to think about your business and then go from there. You want to focus on assessing key areas of your business and a strategy for success. So most in the longer plan, there are different segments of it. You go in often, you'll see the executive summary first, but that is the thing that you're going to do last. And the reason why is it summarizes everything from all the other areas in here. So let's say if you're going somewhere, somebody could look quickly at the executive summary, and maybe this person wants to know about your market analysis. Then they could go directly to that area. Or maybe someone's an investor and they want to get over to your financials right away. So they get a little idea up front, but then they get everything else when they go to the complete plan. So in there, one of the first things is your company description, who you are and what you do. And one of the most important things you can do is you need to write this for someone that knows nothing about your business. If there are certain terms, jargon, any of that, think about that throughout this whole plan. You want it to make sure anybody could understand it. If you're going to look for financing, maybe your banker knows, but when they send it to underwriting, there could be some terms that they don't know. So after you complete this, get some people to read it and some that really don't know what your business is. So describe your company, everything that you do. Next, market analysis is a part of most business plans. You want to do some primary and secondary research. Primary is just you asking questions of people you know. That's primary research. I'm doing it, and maybe you put something in the chat box and asked a question for everybody here. Secondary resources would be maybe using some of those great resources that Kerry just talked about, where you can look up certain businesses or their industry, et cetera. So you want all of those things in there. You want to make sure that you include your organization and management legal structure. So are you a sole proprietor? Are you a LLC, a C Corp, a S Corp? What type of organization is your company? And then put in there the management of the company. That can be you. You may have partners. There could be other people that are in there. So anybody looking at that, you want them to know who runs your business. Then your service or product line, the different things that you offer. And again, make sure anybody reading this can understand what those are. Then marketing and sales. How are you going to promote your business? Are you doing things online? Do you have a website? They want to know how you're going to be marketing and making sales, how you're going to be making money. So if you have a funding request, what is it for? What is your investment? Everybody wants to know that you have skin in the game, that you're putting your own money back in the business, because many feel if you aren't investing in your own business, why should I? So if you're purchasing a building, maybe you need a vehicle, maybe a trailer, maybe you want computer equipment, whatever it is you're looking for, state what you want to use the money for. Next, and this is usually most people's least favorite part, are financial projections. So they call those pro forma. They are assumptions, but they are based on real numbers. Everybody knows you don't really know if you're going to make that much money, but let's say you're selling items for $1,000 each. You can put in there and determine what your sales might be. So again, that's probably one of the most important parts you have in there. And you want to supplement your funding request with financial projections. Your goal is to convince the reader that they want to invest in your business and it's going to be strong in a financial success, because if they're investing, they want money back. It also should be important always to provide a prospective financial outlook. Most of these people forecast for 3 years, some do for 5 years. So again, first year is usually month-to-month projections. You do January through December, and many times there's just a number, a multiplier for year 2 and year 3. And then appendix, if you have any other information in there, maybe you have a rental agreement, maybe you want to put your resume in there, anything like that, you can put in the back. So we use the LivePlan template, and this we have available to anybody. If you just Googled business plans, B plans comes up, and that is LivePlan. So it is a great service. I love going through there because they make it really easy for you. They have a default outline that is designed to be a complete business plan template for any type of business. The other thing I love in there, under the help menu, there's a sample plan library. So you may find some businesses that are similar to yours. So you can look through and maybe get ideas that you didn't think about for your business. Maybe you'll see some numbers. Maybe there's some different ways to sell your product that you had never thought of before. So there's a lot of great resources in there, and it's very easy to customize the LivePlan template. You can add, remove, reorder anything you want in there. So you can customize it for your business. So many of you have heard about the Lean Business Plan, and it's a shorter, smaller one. And this is available too in LivePlan has more like a one small page that you can work on there. So with those, again, this is like the bigger plan, but just short. So you can put in there what the identity is, problem we're solving. These are really great ways to start before you do your complete plan. Or it may be, I'm starting with this, jotting down the ideas that I know for my business right now. And as you're getting started, you may not know all the answers, but as you start writing things down or putting things in there, it really helps you identify your business and where you're going to go with it. So again, this as your target market, competition. And again, things here, this target market, you can find some of that research, again, with some of the resources we just found that you can get at the library. And also here with your competition. Who is your competition? Some people think nobody is my competition. Well, every business has competition, and sometimes you have to think outside who else is taking that money. So maybe you have in the entertainment business. Well, movie theaters, parks, all of those other things are your competition if they're taking that same dollar. So you really need to think about this and who the competition is. So this also shows the sales channels. How are you going to do this? This show the sample there, marketing and activities. What are you going to be doing? So many of us now in marketing, social media is a large part of it. So think about all the different things that you're going to need to do to promote your business. Then revenue. How many different streams are there? So if you were a bakery, you can make so much for cakes, cupcakes, cookies, some of the different items that are there. Expenses, a lot of times people don't think about all the different expenses that they have. Payroll, rent, utilities, insurance. You're like on the bottom of who gets paid. So you really need to think about all this before you get started. And then what milestones are there for your business? Are there sales goals, or maybe you want to introduce a new product? And then your team, who are they? Who are the key players? I know several of our grant winners have partners or a team as well. And then who are your partners and resources? The Center for Women Entrepreneurs can be one of your resources. But then again, we also learned there's SCORE, SBDC. Are there other mentors that you work with? So all of those are things to think about as you're putting that together. Something else you have to think of before you launch. What are your startup costs? Everybody has those. And a lot of times these numbers, people don't think that they're going to be as high as they are. If you had a brick and mortar business, utilities and utility deposits for those are a whole lot more expensive than what you would pay as a homeowner. So you want to check all of that beforehand, and insurance and all the other things that are involved in startup. How much inventory are you going to have? Do you have any starting capital? So you want to think of all those things. Startup, again, they're expenses that happen before you even bring any money in. So it could be even, again, more of those early startup things. Are you working with a lawyer? Are you getting a logo? Insurers? Are you going to have several sites? So again, think about all that's going in. And startup assets. So these could be money you're investing. It could be a building you already have, maybe some starting inventory. So you want to think about all these: office furniture, vehicles. So there are a lot of things that could be involved here. This, and we can give you a sample, but there's also one of these that's built into LivePlan that really helps you. And this is typically most people's least favorite part again, but these can help you determine where you're going in your business. Maybe I can determine by month 8, I have enough money to hire somebody else, or maybe I could start paying myself then. So that's why it's a good idea to do this. When you're doing this too, think about your business. Many times people put the same number in every month, and that's okay. But many businesses are cyclical. If you're in retail, fourth quarter may be your busiest time of the year, and you may make a lot more money those months, and come January and February, you may not be making as much money. So you want to determine that when you're putting numbers in here. And this just has a sample of some different things you want to think about that need to go into your cash flow projections. And so we're doing all of this because You may be looking for a loan. You may be looking for funding. You may be wanting money somehow for your business. So we'll go to the next part. Before you go or you're going to do any investing, make sure you know your own credit. You don't want any surprises before you go. So when a small business is requesting a loan, lenders look at your personal credit history. So again, you want to make sure you know everything that you can about your credit. Excuse me. A better credit report will raise your credit score. That will get you a lower interest rate. There's several places out there that you can get your credit score. So your credit report. Annualcreditreport.com is the one everybody can get free each year. You can pull your 3 different credit reports from this one. You may want to do one, pull another one 3 months later, but it's great to do this just to make sure everything that's supposed to be on your credit report is there. Make sure there's not somebody with the same name as you. I know, and this still cracks me up, a man said, there's another man in Louisiana who had the exact same name as me, but that man had great credit. So it never really bothered him that it was on there, but it's like, you know, you're really going to need to take care of this at some point. You guys don't want to be confusing things with each other. But other places you can get your credit information. Many credit cards right now have free FICO scores. You can also use Credit Karma. I use that one. I'm kind of a credit junkie, so I really like to go in and see where my score is. But all of those are free, and you can get that information. And again, we'll know how to work it from there if your credit report needs some working on. So again, you want to verify all the information is on your report. Studies have shown over 70% contain errors. That is a huge amount. So fix or dispute what you can. So some of the errors that they're finding on there, some are false delinquencies, maybe something you paid off, but it's still showing on your credit report. Public records, they can be on there. Judgment, many times they're accounts that belong to somebody else. So that's why it's important that you take the time to read this and especially look at it every year if you can. If your score is low, fix what you can. Again, you want to do all this before you go to a bank or start looking for funding. So if you can, dispute. The Federal Trade Commission has some sample letters that you can send out, some to get people to quit calling you, and some to dispute what is on there. By law, they have to get you an answer, reply back to you within 30 days. They have to, if you dispute something. So you want to do that if you can. I have heard that it's best to dispute something in Christmas or during the Christmas season because they take so many days off. And if they can't resolve it or get the original bill, then they have to remove it from your credit report. If there are things that need correcting, get them the information there. You also have the option of settling some debt. When you do that, you can say, I'm going to pay, I know I owe $100, but I can pay you $50. And if they agree, make sure they agree to get it taken off your credit report. Now, you will be responsible for that other part that was written off on your taxes. But again, you can do some work here to fix your credit score. Other things that affect the credit score, bankruptcies, foreclosures, short sales. If any of that has happened, I mean, people, they know there's divorce and other things. You can get a letter of explanation and it has to be read on your credit report. So you could have something like that for late payments or tax liens, derogatory marks or repossession. there are charge-offs, medical bills. A lot of times they're more lenient if things were medical bills. Again, student loans, child support, any of those. Again, if you know there's something that doesn't look great, provide a letter of explanation. There are low and no credit options if you know you aren't going to qualify for anything. Friends and family is the way a lot of people invest or fund their business. Business cash advance. Some do that through a credit card or other ways. Invoice financing. You can take that and somebody buys or gives you money for your invoices. Microloans. You see more of those today. There are some companies out there that will loan as little as $500 to help you start a business. There are also angel funding and venture capital. Also grants. We see more grants today than we have in the past. So you can go to grants.gov, ifundwomen.org, Hello Alice lists a lot of them. So there are other ways, but even with grants, and if you're looking for other things, they're still going to want to see somewhere that you are investing in your own business. That shouldn't be the only way you get it funded. Funding request. If you're asking for funding, this is again where you're going to outline what it is you're looking for, and your goal is to clearly explain how much funding you're going to need over the next 5 years, 10 years, etc. And then specify whether you want debt or equity, and give a detailed description of how you'll use the funds. Again, these are all things to think about, and you're going to be answering the questions people would have been asking from you. So it's all right here ahead of time and very transparent. Personal cash equity injection. Again, owners must put some of their own money into the business. For some things, some loans, SBA loans included, some they may want you to put 20% in the business. Some other companies want 40% of the total request. Sometimes depending what you're using the money for, you may not have to put in that much, but you must have something in. Financing your business. So borrowing money is one of the most common sources of funding for a small business, but a loan isn't always easy. Before you approach a lender, you'll need to understand the bank what they're going to be using to evaluate your application. So they're going to look at type of financing you're looking for. Do you have ability to repay? Many times when people are looking for a loan, they don't think about that they're adding then that payment to their monthly expenses. They're going to look at your credit history, your equity investment. Do you have any collateral? Is this a building or is it equipment? Is it something that can be used as collateral? What is your management experience? Have you ever been in this business before? Again, think about the questions. These are all part of it that your lender may ask you. And as we talk about lending, one of the most important things you can do, and we saw during COVID and the PPP and Paycheck Protection Program and the loans from the SBA, that many people didn't have a banker. One of the most important things you can do as a small business is have a relationship with a banker. Many people were going to a bank and if they've never seen you, they may not go to bat for you. I personally have had the same banker for over 30 years. I don't even live there anymore, but I can call them when I wanted to get a car. I just called them, you're fine, you're pre-approved. So it's really nice when you have that relationship. And as a business, it makes it so much easier for you when it comes time to get a loan or you're looking at growing your business. Ability to repay. Again, this is important and something you're going to build this into your business plan as well. All of this is going to, they're going to look at the cash flow from the business. Again, and do you have things such as collateral for them? Banks are more comfortable offering assistance to businesses they have known. Again, this is what I was talking about. Do you have a track record with them? They know that you always pay on time. They know that you just get paid once a month, so they may know that this is the date, then we need to make your loans come due. Again, it's just so important to have a good banking relationship with somebody. There are different types of financing. There's equity financing. It is money that's raised by a company in exchange for shares. Equity financing allows a business to obtain funds without incurring debt. So there's that type. Most small or growth state businesses use limited equity financing, and it often comes from friends, relatives, employees, customers, maybe colleagues. And again, here they may want an investment or a part of the business. And the last is the most common source of equity funding comes from venture capitalists. Many specialize in one or a few closely related industries, but there are other places around town, this town, anywhere where you can go and pitch your business, and there are venture capital. There is venture capital that is available for that. So just know, especially if you're in a tech type business, that many are interested in this, that's a way you can go and get financing that way. Debt financing, that means borrowing money that must be repaid over a period of time. It can be either short-term with full repayment in less than 1 year, or it can be something longer than that. The lender never gets any ownership in your business though. Loans are often secured by some of the assets of the company. In addition, lenders require the borrower's personal guarantee in case of default. And sometimes if you don't have this, you may be able to find somebody else to give a personal guarantee. That way, if maybe your credit's not that great right now, but maybe your previous boss loves you, has got lots of money and would feel comfortable as a personal guarantee. That's another way that can help you when you're looking for a loan. Commercial loans, they can be obtained through many different sources. It could be banks, savings and loans, credit unions. You can also find SBA guaranteed loans. The SBA does not give the loans, but they guarantee a portion of the loans. State and local governments also have programs that encourage the growth of small businesses. We saw a lot of this during COVID. Many economic development organizations were offering that to their cities. So that is a place that you can go and look for help for your business. Again, family members, friends, and former associates are all people, again, that may help your small business. The principal role of banks includes short-term loans. Sometimes maybe you just need a seasonal line of credit. Maybe you need a lot of inventory before air conditioning season, or whatever your business is, you may be able to go and just get a seasonal line of credit. Banks generally have been reluctant to offer long-term loans, but the SBA guarantee has made them more open to doing that. There's also non-lender financing. Again, some of that great history, no blemishes, score of 680. Not everybody's going to be getting there. So some people have started their business on a credit card. Some have done invoice financing, often known as factoring, where it's a percentage. They take your actual invoices and then you get paid from that. Could be a collateral-based loan or a cash injection, commercial or residential real estate. It could be involved in it. Some have sold cars or equipment, and others have borrowed from their 401k in their retirement accounts. You do want to be careful with that because you would still like something to retire on. But there are some accounts you can roll over into a self-directed LLC, and then you are in charge of your retirement. Crowdfunding is another way that people have been finding it's become more and more common, where you can get small amounts of capital from a large number of individuals. Crowdfunding can be used for loans, donations. Some they have, if you give this much money, I'm going to give you this in return for it. Maybe they get a t-shirt or they get something from your business. It works best when you have a great network of supporting people in your community. Crowdfunding has the potential to increase entrepreneurship by expanding your pool of investors. From him, funds can be raised beyond the traditional way of funding your business. This is a list of the top 10 crowdfunding platforms. I'm sure you've heard of some of these. Kickstarters, Indiegogo, Rocket Hub, GoFundMe. I think we've probably all seen that one, Razoo, but there's some for different types of businesses. So again, you can do research on these. They're another way you can get money for your business. So I know this has been a lot of information for one night, but if there's anything else that you need, feel free to reach out. Again, we do small business advising if you want to talk one-on-one about some of this. If you'd like to sign up for or interested in the LivePlan business plan template, send me an email and we can get a copy, get you registered for that. You can also find out more about everything we do through our link tree. And that's how you'll reach us there. And this presentation will also be sent out as well by Donna Lisa. So are there any questions over all that information?
Yes, so we had several of them asking requirements on the business plan for the grant. Is there a specific format or can they do like the lean business plan? What's the requirement?
We want a little more than the lean plan because we want to really see where they're going with that. We have one that there's a paper, there's online application we can send, our business plan template that's not super detailed, but we would like a little bit more than the lean business plan template.
And then Lisa asked, it was when you were going through, I believe, the different sections of the business plan, and she was asking if you're not making a funding request, is that section not required?
Well, your financials should be in every single business plan. So you do want that in there. You just don't have to put the part, am I going to use, but I'm not looking for funding, but we do want to see projections. Where do you think your business is going? That's a part of that really needs to be included in all plans.
Okay. And then Bridget wanted to know, are there funding sources specifically for historically underutilized businesses? Because traditional methods can be difficult to acquire.
I think right now there's probably more funding resources than there have ever been out there, and they're getting segmented in many different ways. So you need to be very specific in your searches for loans or grants for hub type businesses. But there are definitely more now than have ever been out there before.
And that's all the questions I have. Does anybody else have any more questions?
I had a question.
Go ahead.
So will you, as grantees, will you possibly be able to help us identify some of those other funding sources that you may know of? Of course, I've been going to I Fund Women and Googling other opportunities, but if you guys know of some that we may not be aware of, that would be really helpful.
Yes, always. You can set up an appointment for advising. Another thing is make sure you follow us online. We try to share everything that we find. Donna Lisa is great about getting that information out on social media. So you want to make sure you do that. I also do it for on my personal LinkedIn and other pages as well. But again, you can set something up, and if we know exactly what you're looking for, we can help identify some good places for you to start looking for funding.
And then Tracy, we have a grant specific question.
Okay.
We are not to spend any award money until it's awarded. By awarded, is it funds received or the grant awarded?
I got lost in that question.
Well, Amy, do you want to pop on and ask that?
Yeah. I didn't know how to word that. So in the paperwork, it said you can't spend money until it's awarded. But now that I know that I've been awarded, can I start shopping? You know what I mean? Can I spend the money, or do I have to wait till I get that money and then?
Well, they don't want to fund money spent before you have it. So first part you should get probably within 3 weeks. Again, it depends how quickly you get all of your information in before that is released. But they didn't want you purchasing, something you purchased 3 months ago.
Right. Yeah.
that is going for.
Okay. I just think, yeah, because it said 45 days from, and that was my question. It's like 45 days from being awarded or 45 days from when I get it. Because for me, I have to buy a trailer. So I've got to shop for a trailer. I'm just trying to plan my timing. That's all.
So, and the way it works is you will get the first 2,500 up front. To get the second half, you have to send us receipts for the first 2,500.
Yeah.
You have to finish the classes and submit a business plan.
Yeah. And that first 2,500 can't be spent obviously before today because I haven't, but it can't be spent until I get that check.
Right.
Okay. That's what I need to know.
Okay.
I'm very patient. I'm trying not to be super eager. Okay.
And then
you can start shopping.
Yeah. Oh, I'm shopping. I'm looking.
You can start looking. Yes.
And then Tracy, we had a question. Could you briefly review again what the money can be spent on?
Okay. There's so many different things the money could be spent on. Let me just tell you what it can't be spent on, because we do get some money from the state. We cannot pay the taxes on anything. So it's okay, you still purchase it, but you have to take that amount off. You can't do advertising like billboards or in a magazine, but you can do social media marketing. You cannot pay payroll, wages, or compensation of any type, but you can have a consultant because they don't work for your business. I was trying to think what the other ones, those were the main things that you cannot use the funds for. If there were taxes on some of your items, take those off, or make sure you submit over 2,500 and then we'll take that amount off.
And then again, for the LivePlan template, if you will either email Tracy and request access to LivePlan, and that access is only for a specific amount of time. So if you don't access it and get in there, then it will, you won't be able to later on, like 3 months, 6 months later. Or if you can go to the link tree and click on business advising, and it'll take you to the link to register with Tracy. So long story short, email Tracy for the template. We had another question for marketing. What about direct mail?
That can be done. If there are any that are certain specific or something you're doing, you're not sure, you can always send me an email for clarification.
Any other questions? Again, so we will send out the replay of this. For those of you that are not grant winners, the replay will be sent out next Tuesday along with the slide presentation. For grant winners, it will be sent out to you immediately. Well, not tonight, it'll be tomorrow. And we do have a poll. If we could take a few minutes, and I will launch that. If you would take a few minutes and answer that before we close out and say goodnight. Do you see the poll? Okay. If you're on Facebook, if you're watching us live on Facebook, you cannot take the poll. We wish you could.
And also, we sure appreciate all of you being here. Next week, next Tuesday, November 10th, is going to be the language of financial statements. So make sure you're registered for that. And that we purposely put that further up because that's one of the more difficult things people have trouble with for their business plan. So we made it early so you'd have time to work on that. And we'll go the week after that, business entities, then insurance for small businesses, and then drastic steps marketing, get known, get connected, get paid. So we're so thankful for all of you that are here this evening. We also want to let you know next Tuesday, first Tuesday of every month, we do a Women Rise networking. November is going to be going remote, a behind the scenes look at digitizing your business. So if that's something you're interested in, that is going to be next Tuesday at 8 a.m. It's from 8 to 9. It's all virtual. You can register for that on our website. December, we have long-term financial changes and future-facing strategies for your business. That's Tuesday, December 8th. So you can find those on our website under the Women Rise.
And then one last one, on December 10th, we have our fireside chat with Amber Fletcher from Fletcher's Corny Dogs, or Fletcher's Original Corny Dogs. And she's going to talk a lot about how, if you're not familiar with Fletcher's Corny Dogs, they're usually at the state fair and they closed it down. So Amber's going to share how they really had to pivot. And they really had to step out and do a lot of different things. So it'll be a really great conversation, and it will be our last event of 2020.
Is she bringing samples?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll.
They may have to ask her. She has prepared food before with their food truck for us. It'd probably be difficult to have samples though if we're doing it virtually.
So I took us off of live, and I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. Is that okay, Tracy?
That is great. It's fun.